Hey there everyone, and welcome back to more Let's Play Star Ocean, the second story. My name is Rabbit, and if you are watching today, that means you more than likely have finished my main part of this Let's Play, because in episode number 72, we did go ahead and conclude the main story of the game by defeating Indalecio with his limiter on. But starting here with episode 73, going until whenever this all ends, we are debuting sort of, I guess, the bonus side to my Let's Play and just some of the bonus and additional content that is accessible in this game at this point. So I'm very excited if you are here. Obviously, you want to either just find out a couple tips, tricks, secrets, and things that you may not have known became available once you had saved at that spot, or you're just bored and you want to see me play more Star Ocean 2. So whatever your reason for sticking around and following me through beyond episode number 72, I'm so grateful and so happy to have you here with me. But before we go ahead and get started with what I will be showcasing today, I do just want to catch you guys up with me and apologize for not getting more Star Ocean up last week. I have just been so swamped with work, and my husband and I are still juggling a lot of the extra unexpected drama that came with the new property managers that bought out our apartment complex and then are raising the rent. So my husband and I have been frantically still looking for a new apartment complex, although we do have time. Our lease is not up until the end of July. So we do have a few months, but it's getting uncomfortably close, and I am not feeling too comfortable not knowing exactly where I'm going to be living in 2 to 3 months. So that's been kind of going on. Like I said, work's been going on. My husband is getting ready to finish up his second year of graduate school, and he's kind of just preparing for all of his summer work. Plus, his final year will be next year when he's going to finally be doing his whole thesis defense and all of that fun jazz. So we've just had a lot of stuff that we've been planning for, trying to squeeze in time to accomplish in between our work / school schedules. So I really appreciate your patience. It's been a very, very frenetic last 2 to 3 weeks for me, but I'm going to try to update Star Ocean more than just once every 2 weeks, because it feels like that's kind of what this schedule has ended up becoming, and that has not been my intention. So thanks again for those of you who have been patient, and yeah, again, thank you so much for joining me for the start of the whole bonus section of my playthrough of Star Ocean, the second story. So I think that wraps up all the introductions, all of my catching you guys up with me and my life. So let's go ahead and dive back into gameplay, you guys. So what I want to open today's recording session with is we have a special little private action that we need to go back and see in Central City, and I already described this to you guys in our previous episode that we must see this private action in order to remove the limiter from Indalecio. So obviously we can't do that right now because we are on the final floor of Fienal here. So what I'm going to do is run my happy ass all the way down to the base level, and then I'm going to head back over to Central City. So I will cut the camera here, and I'll meet you guys when I am outside the city itself. So I will see you in just a moment, my friends. Okie dokie, guys, welcome back. So I would say it probably took me roughly 20-ish minutes to make my way all the way back down through Fienal to Laqua, and then to get to the point where you guys see me right now. So don't get frustrated if it takes you a little bit of time. There is just such a high encounter rate in there, and it's not going to be a quick 5-minute trek. So just be prepared to spend a little bit of time, but it's absolutely worth it for a lot of the fun side questy things that we are going to get to experience. So in terms of, okay, I guess we'll open up with the fight. But I was starting to say, in terms of the private action, there's not really anything else that we need to worry about. As you can see, my health is maxed out because I did decide to rest at Laqua, but you don't need to make sure you do that as well. I just chose to do it for reasons. Not really anything in particular, but there's no fight or anything with this private action, so all you gotta do is just run over here. So Bowman says, somehow this town seems stifling. It's a really weird thing to say, but okay. Now that we are in our private action form, all we have to do to get this to spawn here is just run right into the City Hall area. And oh my goodness. Is that Filia? Looks familiar, that's for sure. The child says, "What's wrong?" Nothing. I'll be okay by myself. You go upstairs and find your mother. Okay, thank you. You are Mr. Claude, right? Yes, but who are you? My name is Filia. I've come to this town because I have a favor to ask of you. A favor, you say? Yes, I want you to kill me. What? I want you to end my life before my consciousness has been completely swallowed by my father. What do you mean by that? Don't you remember? We met once before, in the town of Click. In Click? Now that you mention it, I don't know how Claude would forget this. She was sitting in the middle of the square prophesying that there was going to be some sort of disaster that was going to overtake the town, and she was correct. So, Filia is a pretty memorable character. My father's name is Lantis. Lantis was the leading researcher in heraldry science. He was also the father of the 10 wise men. The 10 wise men? What was that? Just now? It appears that the previously sleeping consciousness of my father has awakened. I have been programmed such that taking my own life is impossible. So, please kill me now, before my father's consciousness is completely awake. Come on, Claude, do it! Quickly! Oh, shit. She has disappeared. What is this? And we got Israfil's Tear. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is the infamous private action that I have mentioned numerous times throughout this Let's Play that is going to allow us to fight Indalecio with his limiter off. So basically, I've already explained this before, and you guys probably are aware since we did do the secret information side quest. Basically, what this scene did was Dr. Lantis's true consciousness of everything that's gone on has awakened within Indalecio, because as you recall, all of that information about what happened did get programmed into Indalecio, but for whatever reason, I guess the full sentience wasn't there, but now it is. So he is going to be super hard, super tough, and I would not recommend trying to go and fight him right now. You're going to need to be at least level 200. So now's a good time to start deciding what you want your final party to be. The first time I played this for you guys, my final party, I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe it consisted of Priscus, Claude, I think, Opera, and Ernest. I believe those are the 4 people that I used. I've had some people saying that, I mean, obviously, I ended up taking Bowman this time instead of Priscus, because when I do eventually play Second Evolution, the port / I guess, updated version of this game for the PSP, I plan on recruiting Ashton, and I think it's best to have Priscus with Ashton. But anyway, that's an aside. My point of saying all of this is to let you guys know that a few of you did contact me and say that, hey, it would be really nice if you did sort of like a challenge final party, because it's pretty common for people to take an all melee final party. Sometimes people will opt to have Rena and they just make her more DPS-y and they don't really rely on her spells outside of things like Dispel and occasionally a heal or two. But I really do think Opera is better when it comes to healing for reasons that I've kind of noted, but I'll wait until the move actually becomes unlocked on her, and then we'll talk about that a little bit further. But honestly, this game kind of is structured such that your caster / healers really do potter off in terms of their power relative to your DPSers / your, I guess, melee characters. So most people do opt to have a team that usually consists of like Claude, Bowman's a really popular one, Opera's very popular, or Ashton, depending on who you opted to bring. I don't know a lot of people that bring Ernest, which is why I wanted to do that in my first playthrough of this, but a few of you were saying you would really like to see me bring a caster. So I'm not sure who I want to bring. I definitely am not going to be bringing Noel. I think we can all agree that he's not really the best, but I don't know, we'll see. Right now I'm thinking for my challenge, my non-traditional final party challenge, I may want to bring Leon. So we'll see. It's kind of a toss-up right now for me between Leon and Celine. I'll kind of have to figure that out here in the next episode or two. But I do just want to point this out to you guys that now really is the best time to kind of figure out who you want your final party to be, because it is not going to be fun trying to level every single person in your party to 200 plus. You're going to need to kind of pick the 4 that you really want to focus on, because that's going to result in you having a much better time. But anyway, we got, the Israfil's Tear, so let's check that out. It is a pendant that contains the prayers of a sad young lass who cries in regret of a mistake she made long ago. Kind of a fucking depressing ass description here, but there you have it. That's what it looks like. And those are its stats. It's not really something that I want to equip right now. I mean, we can if we really want to, but I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. So what we are going to worry about, though, is what comes next. So we did one of the little side things that I had mentioned to you guys, which was seeing the private action that will allow us to fight the unlimited version of Indalecio. But now we have the whole Cave of Trials ordeal. But first, before I continue, Leon says our battles will finally end. Not quite, Leon. We still have quite a few battles ahead of us. So what we need to do in order to even access the Cave of Trials is head back to Expel. And I'm sure you're wondering, how the hell can we get back to Expel? We saw it get completely destroyed. And you're correct. It was completely destroyed, but we do have, it's kind of hard to explain. Basically, it's like a little simulation type deal that's going to allow us to kind of go back into our memories, I guess, and experience Expel. It's really weird. They didn't put that much effort into putting the explanation there. But what I'm going to do is cut the camera again, and I'll bring you back right before I talk to the NPC that's going to allow us to do this. So be right back again, everybody. Alrighty, guys. So as you can tell from the music as well as the scenery, we are at the battle arena in Fun City. And what we want to do is come and chat with this guy right here in green. And this mysterious old man says, "Shall I recover your past memories?" You're joking, right? Is it a joke? I am talking about using the currently fashionable virtual reality to recover memories from your subconscious. If you die in a virtual world, then your psyche could be destroyed and you could really die. What will you do? Will you try? So as I was kind of trying to explain to you guys, basically it's not us actually traveling back in time or going to Expel, because we saw that it was destroyed. And I know some people sometimes describe it that way, but as you can see from the description itself, we're just basically going on another virtual reality tour of our past and of our memories of Expel. And because of that, once we get there, nothing has actually changed. If you want, you're free to go ahead and explore everything, but you're not really going to experience anything too new, except for the fact that we will have access to the Cave of Trials because we're going to have our Seigneur there. So anyway, explanation aside, let's go ahead and say yes. Are you sure? You have no regrets? Yes, really. Now close your eyes. I don't know if I trust this old man. And here we are. This is Arlia. And Vern says, "Pigya!" How adorable. So yeah, there you go, guys. We are legitimately in Arlia, at least in our minds. We're not really here, but you can still come and talk to NPCs, and everything is still the same that it was before we left in the first place. So yeah, see, Wes is just saying, will you rest? You can definitely do that if you want to. Now, you might be wondering, well, how the hell do I get back to energy need so that I can beat the game if I don't want to do the Cave of Trials or I'm done? All you have to do is come and talk to this penguin thing. Hang on, when he gets over here, he says, "Pig you, pig you, pig you, pig you." And all you have to say is, "You silly Vern." And basically it pisses him off. I almost said it pigs him off. But he gets mad, and there you go. He kicks you out. Pig you. I don't know. It's a really strange mechanic. I'm not sure whose idea it was to structure it this way, but whatever. So Claude says, "What? Where is this?" Oh, you're back. How was it? Your journey through your memories. Come back again if you want to journey through your memories again. So you have absolutely no constraints and no limits to how many times you can go back and forth between energy need and expel. And I say expel in air quotes for obvious reasons. But anyway, basically, let's just quickly scroll through this text. Yes. And before we even head to the Cave of Trials, we do have something that I want to do, and it does involve pickpocketing, which you guys already know. I have to highlight when there is something really cool and really important that you can unlock. So I wouldn't say this item that we're going to potentially get is important, so much as it is kind of cool. You can sell it. I think it goes for about 3 million full, if I recall. But I think it's worth it to go ahead and keep it. So before we mess around with that, let's actually head outside and save. So what I'm going to do, and yes, as you can see, I do have Leon in my party. I don't know if you guys were able to see that when I was just talking a moment ago about how I did receive a couple of people saying that they would like for me to have a little bit of a challenge and bring at least one mage / spellcaster with me throughout my final party. And I'm leaning towards Leon. I believe I already mentioned. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But I'm saying it again now. So I have Leon in my party for right now. May switch him out with Celine, but I'm going to have to kind of get my shit together and figure it out sooner or later. But anyway, save. Let us do it. We'll just save over this old data here. All right, perfect. And we're at 30 minutes exactly. So we really powered through this game with my Claude being so pseudo-OP, I guess, earlier on in the game. Because typically it takes closer to 40 hours to get to Indalecio and kick his ass. But we were able to knock that out a little bit earlier. So what I'm going to do is enter via a private action. And Celine says, we have to cross over to the continent of Liqueur from Hurley. So yeah, we're getting some old-ass messages here. No one in our party really seems to acknowledge that, yeah, we are going into our memories and our psyches here, and we're not really here. But anyway, so you come here to the house of the lovers that we'd spoken with earlier, and as you can see, there's a change. They have a fucking kid. How crazy, right? But it's still pretty cool. So if we chat with him, he says, Papa and Mama are so lovey-dovey, I'm so embarrassed. So I think that's really nice that they switched this up a little bit, added a new little member to their household. But what is really important about this kid for us is that he is holding on to a nice rare item called Santa's Boots. So I'm not going to talk about it yet until I get it. So let's go ahead and get this started. Okay. You guys know the drill when I'm trying to steal something that's pretty rare and it takes a long time. I'm going to pause the camera and I will bring you back as soon as I have successfully managed to take this from this brat. So I'll see you in a moment, everybody. You guys, I legitimately have no idea what's been going on with this Let's Play and me having such great success with pickpocketing. I only had to reload one time and I successfully stole the Santa's Boots, whereas usually it takes 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 tries. So I don't know, you guys are somehow good luck because I have not had nearly as much trouble with pickpocketing some of our rarer items with this Let's Play as I have in the past by myself. So I don't know, but anyway, we got the Santa's Boots and let's go ahead and check them out really quickly. So it says bright red shoes filled with the dreams of children. And they're not really good for actually equipping and using in battle, but what they are really good for is whenever you have them equipped and you spend the night at an inn, the following morning you will wake up with a nice rare item. So it can be almost anything. It's random how the item is generated, but I will say that I have gotten a seraphic garb from these boots in the past. But you can also get garbage, so it's really just a luck of the draw, and you'll have to just keep on trying if you want to get something super rare and super awesome. Now, if this doesn't sound like something you're interested in, you're like, I don't really fucking care, I'm not going to continuously spend the night at an inn just to try to get some rare equipment, totally valid, totally fine, I understand. What I would suggest then is just selling it because, as I already mentioned, I believe you get close to 3 million full for these boots. So if you're short on cash, which we are not, but if you are, that is another viable option. Or you can just have them and not use them just for the sake of saying that you got them. So that's it in terms of what we needed to do here in Arlia. And now we are ready to go ahead and hit up the Cave of Trials. But we are up on time, you guys. We had a somewhat longer episode here, as Bowman is saying the countryside is nice after all. Okay, thanks, Bowman. We had somewhat of a longer episode, but it was pretty good because this is setting us up for the rest of the bonus content that we're going to be delving into. So I'm really happy we knocked out seeing Filia's private action in this episode, and we also were able to revisit our memories of Expel. So when we come back together in our next video, we are going to head straight to the Cave of Trials, because as you can see, our lovely Sinyard was able to join us, and now we have access to an area that we couldn't previously get to. So, gonna go ahead and part ways with you guys here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I am your host, Rabbit. This is my Let's Play of Star Ocean: The Second Story, and I'll see you in just a moment in our next video.